Hi, it's Kate from Izzalicious Designs. Today I'm going to show you how to make this cute little heart charm with Valentine's Day steaming up ahead of us. It's about time to do something like this. So I'm using two colours. You don't have to. You can do it all the same colour. It really doesn't matter. It looks just as nice, I think, all red. But if you want to make it two-tone, that's completely up to you. We're going to use a loom. And we're going to use our hook as well, but it doesn't take very many bands. I think it's about maybe 44, 48 in the middle and about 24 around the outside. So let's get started. Single loom. I'm going to have it in a slightly weird offset position. You're going to have it so that you have two up here above this one. Okay, now you can have it, you still want it to be staggered though, okay, so if you are going to do it, don't do it so that these ones are lined up. You want to make sure that you still have this stagger happening here, okay. So I'm going to do mine red and white. As I said, you can do yours whatever colour you like. Make sure that the open part of the peg is facing towards you, or the arrow is facing towards you. I'm going to double band. Double banding means you take two bands and you place them against the on the pegs together at the same time. It makes it stronger. I'm going to start by, if I'm going to do my white border, I'm going to use two white bands. So if you're using pink as a border, use two pink bands, and I'm going to place those on that center peg. Okay, I'm just going to pop them there, sitting there doing nothing for the moment. Now I'm going to take two red bands and go from the center up to the top right, and the same on the other side, center to the top left. And then I'm going to do 3 pair down each side. So 1, 2, 3, and 3 down the other side. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do 5 pair down the centre here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to do from these two end ones to this centre. So not this centre here, this centre here. Alright, so stretch it up like that. And the same on this side, stretch it up. Now we're going to do crossover bands. So our first crossover band is going to be a little triangle, upside down triangle here. We're going to cap it, which means you're going to take your band, stretch it, turn it into a figure 8, so you've got it doubled on yourself, and stretch it across these 3 pegs. Okay. The next one is just going to stretch across. It's not going to be capped. It's just a single band across, and then we're doing across here as well. Now for this one, what you're going to do is, instead of leaving this bit up here, you're going to take your hook and just pop it underneath this peg, okay, like so. We're going to put an end cap on the very end here. Take a single band, wrap it once and twice, and we will pop it on here. Now we are going to have 4 pair of bands either side in addition to this. But let's just loop up what we can to start with. So dig down past your end cap, grab those 2 bottom bands and loop up once and twice. Push things down. Now we're going to take the first top 2 bands, okay, and loop them to their corresponding side. And the same on the other side. And then we can loop this all the way up to the top here. So once, twice, and 3 times, so we don't have to worry about that middle column any longer. Before we loop up this column, we're going to add our little added extras to give it a bit of that puffy look on the side here. Okay, so your first 2, you're going to go through in here. Can you see that? Alright, so this pair of bands does not get touched, just these, and you've got 4 loops for it because you've already bent this pair of bands over. So pull that through like so and reclaim. Okay, so it's almost like you're doing a chain coming out here, and you're going to take another 2 and pull through those loops. Now before you reclaim these ones, over here is your crossover band. Whoops, as I fly my hook across this table. This is your crossover band, and we need to add that in. So what I'm going to do with this end of my hook, before adding it in here, I'm going to grab it and pull it across, and then add those other two to my hook. Now for my next two that I'm pulling through, I have to go through the 5 loops. There's 2 here, 1 here, and 2 here. So pop on the end of my hook and gently, you might have to twist around. Now I can feel that I actually lost one band, so I'm going back, grab that crossover band again, put back on. Let's try that one more time. Through. Try and keep it nice and taut. If you keep it tight, it's easier to pull through the bands. If you let it go slack, then you sort of lose things. One more pair of bands up here. And we're going to just hold these. I'm pinching these like that. I'm going to hold them out to one side, and I'm going to loop. I'm going to hit the camera. I'm going to loop these up. Okay, so I'm down here. 1, 2, 3, and now these little ones here, I'm going to put back on like that. Do the same on the other side. So 2 bands, and you're going through this part here. Get this one out of the way. Pull back through and reclaim the next 2. You're not reclaiming because you're going to grab the crossover band. So pull it through like that. Now grab that crossover band and now reclaim. The next 2, you're going through all 5 of those little bands. So there's these and these. Now reclaim. You've got another 2 to do. Like so. Okay, now we're going to hold these out to the side. Okay, and loop up this right hand side. So 1, 2, 3, and pop that back on. Now what we're going to do is loop these ones down to the center. So dig down, find those 2 bottom and pull down to the center, and the same here. Pull down to the center, and if you have a look, that's where your 2 white bands are, right here. So you're going to dig down past. Now you've got a lot of bands down here, so carefully does it. There we go. Now I'm not going to tie these off. I'm just going to hang on to them on my hook. I'm taking another hook that doesn't have the ergonomic side to it, and I'm just going to ease these off. I like to do it this way because I feel that there's less tension on the bands and you've got less chance of your bands breaking. And I hate it when bands break. Gently, gently does it. There we go. Let's get that out of the way. So this is, and it doesn't look like a little heart at this stage, does it? Sort of looks rather odd, but there we go. So this is our little heart. Okay, now what we're going to do is go around the edges and give it its little border. So I am going to take these 2 closest to me up and over. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm looking at the edges of my work, and this is where I can see my stitches. I'm going to zoom in so you can see too. Here we go. Make sure that we're in focus. If you have a look here, there's 2 here and 2 here. That's your stitch. And there's 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, all the way down. Okay, so what we're going to do, go through these first 2 either side, and we're swapping. I'm getting rid of my red. We're swapping to white now. We're going to do 3 little stitches in this top one. So you're going to take your first white band, okay, and you're going to pull it through and reclaim, and you're going to take one end over the other, and then you're going to pull that loop through these two little loops like that. Now go into that same stitch again, to that side and to that side, and do it one more time, and then you're going to pull through and through again, one more time up on that same stitch. So you've got 3 of these little loops in that stitch. Now this second stitch is here, and you're going to go in through the to that side and the to that side. We're going to do 2 of those little stitches in here, and this is how we crochet with bands. And this is called a single crochet, and doing 2 in the same stitch it's called an increase, but you don't need to know that, you're just doing crochet stitches. So into this stitch here, and we're just going to do 1. So pull it through, knot it, and join into the next one. There's 2 either side. Now as we get to the bottom here, it's a little more tricky because they sort of merge into the other side. So what we're going to do, I can see that I have 2 here and 2 here, so I'm doing 1 stitch in this. The next stitch I can only see these 2, so I'm only going through these 2, and in the next one I can see that I have 2, so I'm going to go through both of them just with a single stitch. And then, can you see that's my end cap right here? I'm going to push my hook into the end cap. There's 3 little loops, and I'm going to do 3 of these stitches in here. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so that I don't lose. There we go. So I'm going to do 1, and then I'm going to go back into my end cap, do another 1, and back into my end cap one more time, and do another 1. And then we went through both here, so make sure I got through 1, 2 here and 1, 2 here, just a single. And this one we only did one side, so I'm going to do the same, one side, a single. Here I've got both, and a single through that one, and a single in this one. So we're just doing this little border around, and this is a single as well. Now the next one we're doing 2 in, so here it is, here's one side, let me get both little loops, it's got 4 little loops on there, so we're going to do 2 of them in this one. So there's my first stitch, let's go back in and do another one right next to it. And in this big top one we're going to do 3. So here's my first one, here's my second one, and here is my third one. Now the trick, you want to try and make sure that you go through, see this center, this is our center one here, I want to go through that center one, so I want to go through that, the 2 white sides there, and if I push through, I'm going to take a single band, pull it back through that pair there, and I'm going to add this loop to it like that, okay, and then reclaim one over the other and pull it tight. Now you are going to have to do a bit of pulling and stretching to get it into shape, and there we go. But there we have our little heart. There we go. Now I think it would look very nice if you did it all the same colour as well, because then you wouldn't have this stitch going through the bottom here, but it really doesn't matter. It's completely up to you how you like your little heart to look. So there we are, some little hearts to give us Valentines. They're good as little gifts in the classroom. I hope you enjoy. Take care. Happy Valentine's Day. Bye.